Alright guys, am I recording? It's been a while since I've been on YouTube, or I've even done a film. So I decided to post something. I do a lot of long arm quilting, and I decided to post on my favorite stuff that I love to use. That's really inexpensive. A lady from Spain had this around her wrist. It's a wristband, and I don't really like anything on my wrist. And you could put your clips on it, and you can clip your stuff on it. What I found is this is a really strong magnet, and I decided that I wanted to cut it. And I cut it into this. It's the same exact thing. I cut it into this, and my machine is metal, and it just clips on, and so I could put all my scissors and stuff on there on the magnet, and they don't fall out, and they're pretty strong. So that's one of my favorite things. I think this thing costs $4 or $3 at Hancock or Joann's, but you could get a coupon, so it comes out to $2. Another one of my favorite things are these little nippers. These are like $13. You can get them at any quilting store. They have them at Joann's where they sell the sewing machine parts. These come out to $15. They're my favorite for long arm quilters. I know they have the longer one where you pull the thread under, but this is a have to have. Now this is one of my favorite seam rippers. I end up having problems sometimes with my tension, and I have to remove some of the stitches. And what I like about this, there's a YouTube account that says Skin the Calf, where you peel the top layer and the batting, and you kind of just skin the bottom of it. This is so sharp that it'll skin the thread, and you'll start getting a lot of ripped thread, and you can undo a lot of thread quickly. I've had to do literally a whole queen size quilt with this thing, and it was a lifesaver. Instead of doing this one, this is only like $1, I believe, or $2, right, at a quilt store. I ended up buying like 10 of them because I like it so much. Another thing that I like as a quilter is this. This is Pons and Porter. They're my favorite because you can just mark your quilt. And this is a refill, since I use this one. Another one, I know they sell these at Linda's Electric Quilting. I got this on, what is it, Walmart for like $1.50. Has a huge magnet, and you can put everything on it, and everything grabs a hold of it. Another one of my favorite things is this. These are it's glue, it's tacky glue, it's for fabric, for wood, for anything. Sharon Chamber does her binding, and she uses glue to tack her binding down. So while we're here, I'm going to show you how to do the binding. Another one of my favorite things, we're going to use this in a minute, is Pons and Porter's roller. I have tons of these. Go to Joann's and get a coupon, 50% off. I think it only comes out to maybe like $4. If not, it comes out to $8. But it's 120 inches long, and you can hang it, so it's not bad. Alright guys, let's go over here. Come on, Sarah. I'm not much of a binder. I really hate binding. Oh, this is also a favorite. When you're done seam rip in the back of a quilt or something, must have, $2. Right? I don't like binding that much, so what I did is I made sure when I did the quilt, I squared off the quilt. I like this back fabric to be my binding, and you can see how clean my fold is. And I'm going to show you how I did that. Now let's see. What I did is, this is my back fabric, and it blends pretty good with my top fabric, and so I want to do my binding this way. I'm at the end. What I did is, I ironed my end. Hold on, let me show you. I wanted to show you this corner piece. We're at a corner piece. I get my glue, Tell them I'm filming. I get my glue. Just a little bit of a dab of glue. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. I fold this in a triangle. And I set it. This glue is washable. So once you wash it, all these little things, when they wash the quilt, they're not going to see any of it. It's going to disappear. So here we are. What I'm going to do, this is the squared off quilt. I made sure that any of my quilting didn't go off. I made sure it stayed within the boundaries of the quilt. What I did is I cut the batting, as you can see it, and I made sure I'm going to use my back, and I'm going to use the back as my binding. Guys, this saves you like 2 hours worth of work, because usually regular binding, you cut strips of your binding, you sew them together, you make sure you fold the binding and iron all that binding, and then make sure you have enough. This way, you really don't have to worry about that. You already know you have the fabric. What I did is after I cut the batting off, my top is squared off, I gave myself exactly an inch. So if I show you my ruler, here's my inch mark. I gave myself an inch all the way down, all the way around my quilt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. Fold my inch. Fold it in half. Oh my. I have issues with my kids dropping the camera.
Shush. Now it's blurry.
What?
It was blurry for a minute.
Right. I folded it in half. Then I fold it in half again. Hopefully this comes out right. Half again. Can you see that corner? There's my corner.
It's like perfect.
So then I iron this. Okay, I'll fold it. I'll just get my camera. Can you see it or no?
Mm-hmm.
This is a donation quilt. I'm doing this quilt from one of my kids' daughters, and I'll do a lot of donation work, and I find that sometimes binding takes a lot of time when I've already built the top, and
it's one of your kids' teachers, not one of your kids' daughters, Mom.
One of my kids' teachers, they said it wrong.
Yeah, you said one of your kids' daughters.
Alright, it is what it is. So here I am, ironing this down. One of my kids' daughters. Alright.
I'm not pregnant.
Well, it's not for your teacher. Then you get a little bit of this glue. And you run a bead all the way down. You already ironed it, but this secures it. And you keep going all the way through the quilt. All the way through it.
How long can you do it on YouTube?
I think it's a couple minutes. Is it?
Because you're at 9 right now.
9 minutes?
I think it's a little take 10.
Okay. So anyhow, you keep doing that, and then in a minute I'll come back on and I'll do the sewing part. So here's my tack down binding. Can they see it or no?
Yeah, let me get it close up.
In this way, you can make sure that you're straight when you do your first iron, and then you tack it down with the glue. It's called tacky glue. You can use Elmer's wash away glue. Sharon Chamber has a little bit part that you can put on here if you're real cautious about not wanting it to show or having any of this. I really don't concern myself because once they wash it, it dissolves. in a minute I'll show you how I sew it so that you can see how clean